Hello! Today we are doing Exodus chapter 21. I just realized it's not in frame. These are the laws you are to set before them. Hebrew servants. On. There we go. If a Hebrew servant, if you buy a Hebrew servant, he is to serve you for 6 years, but in the 7th year he shall go free, without paying anything. If he comes alone, he is to go free alone. But if he has a wife when he comes, she is to go with him. If his master gives him a wife, and she bears him sons and daughters, the woman and her children shall belong to the master, and only the man shall go free. But the servant declares, I love my master and my wife and my children, and I do not want to go free. His master must take him before the judges. He shall take him to the door or the doorpost and pierce his ear with the awl. I don't know what that word means. Then he will be his servant for life. If a man sells his daughter as a servant, he is not to go free as the male servants do. She is not to go free as the male servants do. If she does not please the master who has selected her for himself, he must let her be redeemed. If he has no right to sell her to foreigners, because she has broken faith with her. If he selects her for his son, he must grant her the rights of a daughter. If he marries another woman, he must not deprive the first one of her food, clothing, or material rights. If he does not provide her with these 3 things, she is to go free, without any payment of money. Personal injuries. Anyone who strikes a person with a fatal blow shall be put to death. However, if it is not done intentionally, but God lets it happen, they are to flee from the place that I will designate. But if anyone schemes to kill someone deliberately, that person is to be taken from my altar and put to death. Anyone who attacks their father or mother shall be put to death. Anyone who kidnaps someone who is to be put to death, whether a victim has been sold or is still in the kidnapper's possession. Anyone who curses their father or mother shall be put to death. If people quarrel and one person hits another with a stone or with their fist, and the victim does not die but is confined to bed, the one who struck the blow will not be held liable for the other if the other can get up and walk around outside with a staff. However, the guilty party must pay the injured person for any loss of time and see that the victim is completely healed. I cannot speak. Anyone who beats their male or female slave with a rod must be punished if the slave dies of a direct result. But they are not to be punished if the slave recovers it after a day or 2, since the slave is their property. Let's see some. That's a little better. If people are fighting and hit a pregnant woman and she gives birth prematurely, but there is no serious injury, the offender must be fined whatever the woman's husband demands and court allows. But if it's a serious injury, you are to take life for life. Eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot, burn for burn, wound for wound, bruise for bruise. An owner who hits a male or female slave in the eye and destroys it must let the slave go free to compensate for the eye. And the owner who knocks out the tooth of a male or female slave must let the slave be free to compensate for the tooth. Let me just see some. See if that works better. Alright. If a bull gores a man or woman to death, the bull is to be stoned to death, and its meat must not be eaten. But if the owner of the bull will not be held responsible. If, however, the bull has a habit of goring and the owner has been warned but has not kept it pinned up, and it kills a man or woman, the bull is stoned to death, and its owner also will be put to death. However, payment is demanded. The owner must redeem his life to pay, and redeem his life by the payment of whatever is demanded. This law also applies to the bull gore if the bull gores a son or a daughter. If the bull gores a man or female slave, the owner is to pay 30 shekels of silver to the master of the slave, and the bull is to be stoned to death. If anyone uncovers a pit or digs one and fails to cover it with an ox or a donkey, falls into it, the one who opened the pit must pay the owner the loss and take the dead animal in exchange. If anyone's bull injures someone else's bull and it dies, the two parties are to sell the live one and divide both of the money to the dead I'm getting frustrated with myself. And the dead animal equally. However, if it is known that the bull had a habit of goring, yet the owner did not keep it pinned up, the owner must pay, animal for animal, and take the dead animal in exchange. Alright. If you like that, cool. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.